Number 5. Statue in the woods. When someone says they found a haunted object in the woods and it's ruining their life, you might understandably not believe them, or at the very least, be skeptical of their claims. However, the case of the so-called crone, an object that was found in a cave in New York, might make you change your tune. Earlier this year, Redditor Wicked Hiker Throwaway and his friend were hiking in the woods of New York's Catskill Mountains. While they were exploring, they found a hidden cave with a peculiar wooden figure inside. There were nails in its eyes and a noose around its neck. Getting a bad feeling from the object, Wicked Hiker Throwaway told his friend to leave it and get out of there. The friend, being a skeptic of the paranormal, decided to take the object with him. Oh, what a mistake that turned out to be. After some low-level paranormal activity on the first day, the object began moving from place to place, banging in the night. Things started to get very strange for Wicked Hiker Throwaway's friend. They found the statue on a Sunday, and on a Wednesday, his friend heard a loud banging noise at his front door in the wee hours of the morning. When he woke up to answer it, no one was there. Standing there with the doors open, he realized that he may have let something into his house that shouldn't have been there. He went back to bed, and when he woke up, there were muddy footprints all over his home, accompanied by the overpowering smell of pond water. That's when Wicked Hiker Throwaway's friend went to stay with him for the next few days. That's also when they reached out to a paranormal investigator to try to figure out what to do. They had planned to destroy the object, but the investigator warned them that this would only make things worse. Instead, they should apologize to the entity and return it to the cave. The investigator also offered to take the object from them and investigate it himself. Several days later, after another terrifying encounter with this entity, it arrived in the investigator's office. The specialist, Greg Newkirk of the Traveling Museum of the Paranormal and the Occult, has a large collection of haunted objects stored in his home. He started calling this object the crone and placed it with the rest. That first night, he and his wife heard noises in their house. Inside the office, they found this broken crucifix. They then set up a camera in the office to catch the crone moving. Eventually, they got their wish. Today, there is no doubt in Newkirk's mind that the object is haunted. It's now part of his traveling paranormal museum, but no one is allowed to touch it for obvious reasons. Number 4. A creepy note. On October 12th, a contractor working at the Sheraton Hotel in Raleigh, North Carolina, made a chilling discovery. The contractor, who wishes to remain anonymous, was preparing a king suite on the 7th floor for renovations. He was busily removing old furniture and decorations from the room when something stopped him dead in his tracks. While taking a picture off the wall, he noticed that there was a handwritten note scrawled across the back. It seems to be a murder confession. It reads, "To whom it may concern. Between the years of 2008 and 2010, I would check into this room by special request. And after 6 or 7 weeks of phoning, I would select a victim from a local college or from the apartments adjacent to the windows in this room. After gagging said victim, so as not to disturb the other guests, I would begin the procedure with a hint of sodomy. My crimes were far from victimless, however I always committed them with the attitude of helping the victim go free from this world and helping the community at large. I've never been one to leave witnesses, but I felt I should leave this account of my life's work so that someone will understand. Are you the one who will save me?" Perhaps the most unsettling is the note's level of detail, and the part about freeing his victims from the world? Psycho. Later, the contractor was interviewed by the media and the note was handed over to the police, who are keeping it as potential evidence. What do you think? Is this an elaborate hoax or is there a Sheridan serial killer on the loose? Let us know in the comments. Number 3. Little girl didn't want to wake her mom. In the capital of South Africa, a 3-year-old girl was found living with her mother's corpse. The 27-year-old mom had been dead for 3 days. After Natasha Nell failed to return family members' phone calls for several days, they began to worry. Eventually, a relative drove to Nell's apartment and found her decomposing body. Her young daughter had been alone with the corpse for 3 days. Sadly, the little girl did not realize her mother was dead. She told police, "Mommy was sleeping and didn't want to wake up." However, Nell's skin had already begun to turn black, a sign of advanced decomposition. As of yet, officials aren't sure what caused the young mother's death. Some believe that she died of an epileptic fit. but an official cause of death is expected to be named at the autopsy. What could have happened to her? Number 2. Mysterious voicemail. A Redditor by the name of Heaven in Her Arms posted an update saying that her mother had just received a disturbing voicemail. Earlier this summer, the Redditor's maternal grandfather passed away. Then, about 6 months after he died, her mother received a mysterious voicemail from 000000000. Shockingly, Heaven in Her Arms said that the voice on the other end sounded an awful lot like her grandfather. Here's an audio clip of the message.
This is Dad. I was trying to contact you. This is Dad.
After listening to it, Heaven in Her Arms started calling family members to see if anyone had accidentally forwarded an old message, but they all said no. Number 1. Mannequin's House. About an hour north of New York City is a mysterious house located in a quaint town of New Hamburg, New York. Although the home is a community fixture, no one really knows who lives there. Normally, it's pretty easy to tell if a house is abandoned or not. But the John Lawson house is no ordinary home. In fact, it's pretty terrifying. You see, while locals have never noticed anyone coming in or out of the house, the porch is always occupied by groups of creepy-looking mannequins. This is what the porch looks like on an ordinary day. Those people lounging in the rocking chairs, they're mannequins, fully dressed in early 20th century clothing with freaky, painted-on faces. The John Lawson house is located not too far from the New Hamburg train station. Over the years, the train station has been the site of several deadly crashes. On top of that, back in 1877, the home was the only one on the street to survive a fire that ravaged the whole neighborhood. Some believe that the mysterious mannequins might have something to do with one of the tragedies that befell the town. What's creepy is that the mannequins' clothing is regularly changed, and when it's raining, they're mysteriously absent. This points to someone living in the home and caring for the mannequins, yet neighbors have never seen them. Someone once saw faint lights through the window, but when they knocked on the door, no one answered. I'm not sure why the creepy figures are there, but I will say that they probably deter criminals from getting too close at night. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. Do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch up on my next video.